thank you for having me. Ottawa is like my sister city. I live in McHenry, far north on the Wisconsin border. And we are doing the exact same things that Ottawa's doing. We're on the Fox River, so we're redeveloping our Fox River with a river walk and a lake or waterfront park, doing a lot of commercial downtown redevelopment and reinvestment. So when I was asked to come down and give some remarks, I'm like, absolutely, because I am entrenched in the same process that you are. And when Dave started putting up his TIF maps and his redevelopment, I'm like, I have those same maps, I'm home. But this is the most exciting part of redeveloping what I call small town America. You get to look out 20, 30 years and decide what you want and where you want to have it. And that's so exciting because you're leaving your legacy on the future. And thank you as an investor, a commercial looker, someone who's thinking about doing their next project here. Because that's incredibly important to the chamber, to the realtors, to the community. And really that's what we're here for. So I applaud each and every one of you. Before I dive into the remarks, I'll tell you one of the things McHenry is doing too. And this has me super excited. We have for years been in a relationship with the chamber as a city, and I served on the chamber as a director for 6 years, and I'm now an alderwoman for my city. But together we build relationships with businesses like you. And what we found in McHenry is that we had a lot of cottage industry, a lot of people that worked out of their garage, worked out of their homes, worked in a small space, and they weren't quite ready to go into that retail space. So this year, we are partnering not only with the chamber, but with our school district, and on one of our riverfront parks, we're building what we call mini shops. So it's a 10 by 16 shop that has electricity and access to water, and people can rent those mini shops as the launch point of out of my home, but not quite ready for retail. So they're able to rent that mini shop for a summer to see how their product's going to go, and if it goes well, we expect that they're going to jump into one of our retail spaces come fall. We have 10 mini stores available. We have a waiting list of 42 people who want to use a mini shop for the summer. So if you guys need more information on that, Jeff, please talk to me. I'd be glad to tell you about that. We used it through an incubator series at the school. So we're dedicating 2 of the 10 to high school incubators, people who have a business plan and know where to go. And 8 are going to be allocated to cottage industry grow-ups, which is very awesome. So I feel quite at home here in Ottawa because literally it's a sister city to me, and what you're doing, I'm doing, and I feel your pain. So thank you for being here, and I'm going to jump into some remarks, and I'll take some questions when I'm done. And then I get the honor to introduce Megan. So first of all, I'm Sue, you know me, thank you for having me. But most importantly, as I travel the state, I want you all to view Illinois REALTORS as a resource and a partner. Although we represent 50,000 realtors in the state, we also represent business, we also represent chambers, we represent city government. We are the glue that keeps all of that stuff going. Because if you've ever met a realtor, you know that they're a community advocate from the word go. I have several realtor friends here. Deanne, Ray, Katie, Christine, raise your hands. These are the people that care about your communities and continue to care. So it's important to us at Illinois REALTORS that we continue to expand our relationships, both with local associations, businesses, and communities. That's what we're all about. On the national level, we are the National Association of Realtors. You have all turned the TV on and seen our ad campaigns. That's who we are. How many of you have seen those? Just about everybody in the room. And really, that's what we do. We are showing or demonstrating the value of our partnership to consumers at all levels. The commercial, the residential, the rental, and the developing of business. Our job is to help form public policy and to make sure that we're moving in the right direction in our communities. And that's what your realtors do. And being a realtor separates me from just a regular old real estate agent or the listing app or the real estate specific thing you're getting on your phone. Because a realtor takes it seriously and we become educated and we become good at what we do. But my friends, you and I, the commercial investors that are here today, we are key to the success of every community. And you are key to not only economic development, but the dream of homeownership. Because as Jeff just said, when someone comes in for that that swim meet, and they spend 4 hours downtown, and then they come back for a weekend, and then they come back and buy a second home, and maybe they choose to retire in the Illini Valley, that helps everybody that's on board. So we're the key to that success. Recently this year, Illinois REALTORS has just launched a new campaign called the American Dream, where we want to again participate and increase everyone's ability to own a home, regardless of the gender, race, or socioeconomic status. So we are developing means and avenues to get everyone to invest in communities at every level, which is important. We have campaign materials available and our realtor friends have access to that. Keychains, luggage tags, posters, hats, sweaters. If you want to pursue any of that, reach one of your realtor friends. They have access to great stuff. And also follow your realtors across Facebook. Being a realtor is 3 purposes. 1, we help people buy and sell real estate. 2, we're community advocates, which I've already mentioned. And lastly, we are a center of information. So you think you need something to learn from your realtor. Follow their Facebook page. Find them, like them, friend them, because they have a lot of information that they're willing to give. Our campaign is even broader. We want opportunities in every community. So not only are we doing the American Dream, we are continuing to initiate legislation to encourage redevelopment and investment enterprise zones and things that help you here in Ottawa. We're continuing to step up our long-time commitment to diversity. We are now offering 100 scholarships every year to get people into the industry. So you want to change careers and come into real estate? We will pay your way, which is kind of exciting. Our role in communities has never been more important. On the commercial front, the next 3 to 4 months is going to give us a huge idea on the leasing and sales activity post-pandemic. This will be the first season that we know how is this all going to work out. What's the consumer really thinking in their head? Because frankly, guys, for the last couple of years, where'd you buy your stuff? Online or curbside? So this spring will really be the first effort that we'll be able to manage and monitor on how is the consumer reacting post-pandemic. We think it's bright, which is why as I travel the state, I see a lot of communities doing what you're doing, redeveloping, offering incentives, putting people here to go take a tour of 10 properties this morning. That's incredible. The industrial and multifamily sectors are currently performing very well. We expect that that's going to cross over to retail. So hang in there. People are having a pent-up demand for travel. They're coming. They want to hike. They want to walk. Entertainment and shopping on every survey is getting pegged as what's most important right now. I want to go back to a shopping thing. I want to go back to an outdoor venue to hear a band or to get together for a farmer's market. So you guys are right on track. And having an event like this spotlighting your commercial sector, you couldn't be more timely in the world today. A little cloudier, obviously. Inflation is hitting home for you and for me. Interest rates are rising. Mortgage rates are at the highest they've been in 10 years. We've been traditionally very low, but we're going up. And of course, housing inventory is continued low and expecting to do that, driven by the uncertainty of the economy. As we expect, there's an election coming up. How many of you are aware of an election? Yeah, election to this year is going to be an absolute change of power. And when we have a change in power at all levels of governments, there are new people that will push for continuing increased taxation on real estate. As Illinois Realtors has always believed, we do not want to add hardship to that process. So we will continue to advocate on your behalf to prevent undue hardship on real estate owners. That's why we step up our advocacy efforts. And my Realtor friends, we all have these little silver pins on. That means we're donating to a thing called RPAC, the Realtor Political Action Committee. That is not a political party statement. It's an issues-driven PAC. So our only concern is to support or not support real estate-related issues as they come through Springfield and affect you, me, and every small town that we have. And we will continue to do that. All of my Realtor members here are RPAC supporters. I thank you for that, because that's what makes community advocacy work. And thank you for continuing to give. We also do calls to action. So when we know something's coming up, we pull that plug and we make every one of our Realtors call your legislators and say, that's bad for business. That's bad for Ottawa. That's bad for our community. Or the other side, that's awesome. We support that totally. Let's make that rock. So as a real estate professional, I'm not here just to sell a thing or two. I'm here to promote community, just like Jeff said. We are in this together. We are partners, and we need to work together to make the big picture work. So let me close by telling you how proud I am to be an Illinois Realtor and how proud I am to have been invited today to share a few remarks that we had. We work together to create communities, and by doing so, we all benefit. And you, as commercial investors, are the core to community redevelopment. So thank you for coming today. Thank you for letting me speak. And before I step off the stage, do you have any questions for me? Because I know there's often a question or two that needs an answer. Any questions of me? Yeah, go ahead.
The mini shops, how much is the rent compared to the commercial properties?
So the mini shop's rent is based on their estimate of proceeds, because we do not want it to be a hardship. So if you could rent that 160 square feet for the commercial people in the room, the smaller the space, the higher the rent, right? Isn't that how it normally works? So what we're doing in the mini shops is saying, what do you expect your revenue to be? Which means they have to have a business plan, and they have to have a clue. They can't just do a pop-up, I'm gonna sell honey today kind of thing. So they have to have a plan, and we're expecting 10% as their rent rate.
Like a concession fee, like a
That's it.
concessioner's fee?
Yeah. 10% off the top. Because the whole point is to incubate big business. So if I've got somebody doing an at-home project, and I want them to move into that, 1,200 square foot strip mall space, and they're not ready to launch, I'd rather have them try on 160 square foot space and succeed or fail. So we're basing it on their projected revenue, which gives an opportunity for my economic development crew, just like Dave, where'd Dave go? They sit down with those little minis and say, what are you doing? How are you preparing to do this? Do you have employees? Are you hiring? Or is this really a mom and pop shop trying to grow? So it's a very interactive collaboration of let's get you out of your basement and let's get you moved up. And because we planned this 2 years ago and said, let's start with 10. We have 42 people on the wait list. If this is a success, next year we're building another 10. And guess who's building these? The high school vocational kids. So again, talk about collaboration. We went to the high school and said, can you build these little shops for us So they're building prefab, moving it on site, and then doing final construction on site. So what am I teaching the kids of the future? How to be entrepreneurs, which is very awesome. Dave?
Are these inside a building, are these outside?
They're freestanding, just like we saw on your riverfront park. We're taking one of our little walkways and we are building 10 of these around that walkway.
So it's kind of like, more year-round Kris Kringle huts.
Well, glad that you said that, because once we put this out in the paper in our news media, Kris Kringle Market from Chicago called us and said, we are looking for small communities to take people who are our overflow, and can you use this year round? And we went, well, why not? It's a park. It's gonna be a riverfront park for us. There's plenty of parking. There's gonna be permanent bathrooms. There's gonna be permanent electricity. All we need to do is heat them. So we went back to the school district and said, are you teaching HVAC? And they went, we aren't. I'm like, well, you better get it in. So collaborative effort, collaborative ideas, and it's gonna be amazing. So I expect we'll probably double it. Our riverfront park, Miller Point, is about a $750,000 investment for us. We already own the land, but now we're taking it from a walking park to a obviously fully functioning park. And I'm so excited about the mini shops. I can't wait to see what incubates out of that. So I'm very excited. Any other questions? Ray?
Sue, if I could, I went up to either St. Charles or Batavia to see their version of it, and everybody should go look at that. I apologize what town it's in, but they've got the 10 mini shops. They've been going now for about 2 years. They got like a boardwalk effect on how you walk to each one. Very well done. Very
That's
well
St.
done.
Charles, and exactly,
Charles.
they're on the Fox River, and they've done the same thing. They've done the river walk, so it's a destination. People will literally drive there, do the mini shops, do lunch, pick up a few things, and then be on their way. That's the whole point of being small town America. You want to become a destination. There wants to be a reason for someone to come here. Make yourself special. Use your social media outlets to say, look at all the cool stuff we have. So instead of going somewhere else, come here. That's awesome. And people are looking to travel and find a destination for a day. Not everybody's willing to commit to a hotel, but everybody's willing to commit a day for a destination. Any other questions of me? Well, what a great opportunity. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, thank you.